Hi guys, it's Angel with MakingBabyTaylor, and Kerrigan is turning 2 years old. So here I am filming my 2-year breastfeeding update. Now before I continue, if you couldn't or didn't want to breastfeed into toddlerhood, that's totally fine. That's completely your choice to make. I'm definitely all for moms choosing what's best for their own families based on their own family circumstances, and there's really not a one-size-fits-all when it comes to breastfeeding, as well as many other things when it comes to parenting. I'm not here to change anybody's mind or make anyone feel bad about the choices that they made. The purpose of this video is for me to just talk about my own experience breastfeeding a toddler, the benefits of doing that, and the reasons why I decided that it was the right choice for me and my family. Alright guys, so Mamaway sent me a really great maternity and nursing bra for free for testing and review purposes, and I wanted to go ahead and make a video talking about that bra, what I think about it, and and update you guys on how breastfeeding is going now that Kerrigan is turning 2 and I've reached my goal. So, am I gonna wean? What's gonna happen? What are the benefits of continuing? Let's talk about it. So if you watch my 1-year breastfeeding update, you might remember that I mentioned my goal was to make it to 2 years old. Kerrigan is turning 2 today, so we made it. I think they call it diamond boobies. Anyway, now that we're here, I've put some thought recently into whether or not I wanted to start the weaning process, and the answer is I'm not really quite there yet. With Caledon, I made it to 2 and I was still okay with continuing a little bit, letting him wean on his own, which he did end up doing about 3 or 4 months later. I'm not real sure exactly when because he did it so gradually. Now, by the time he was Kerrigan's age, he had slowed down significantly. A lot of that probably had to do with the fact that I was already pregnant with her, so my supply had taken a huge dive, and in fact, by the time it was his 2nd birthday, I didn't have milk left at all. So he went from maybe like twice a day to like once a day, right around that time frame, and then it just kind of gradually decreased from there. Now Kerrigan has barely slowed down from when she was an older baby. She still will nurse several times per day if the opportunity allows. Now I've noticed if we're really busy and we're going around places, then she could go all day, several hours without nursing at all. But if we're at home, we're sitting around a lot, then she'll want to ask to nurse a lot. Let's just say that, a lot. She still prefers to nurse to sleep both at night and for naps, and she likes to nurse first thing in the morning when she wakes up. And of course, anytime that she gets upset about anything, whether she gets hurt or is just her feelings are hurt or she's just frustrated or whatever. So that translates to a whole lot of nursing. She obviously eats a lot of food, and that's where the majority of her diet comes from. However, the milk that she's consuming is still benefiting her on a nutritional basis. In fact, studies have shown that mothers who've been lactating for more than 1 year have demonstrated increased levels of fat and other energy contents in their milk. Other studies have shown that toddlers get as much as 32% of their energy intake from breast milk, and that it's an important contribution to both their fat and vitamin A levels. In fact, one study showed that in the 2nd year, 448 milliliters of human breast milk contains 29% of energy requirements, 43% of protein requirements, 36% of calcium requirements, 75% of vitamin A, 76% of folate, 94% of vitamin B12, and 60% of vitamin C requirements. That translates to a very significant portion of your child's nutrition. And yes, Kerrigan, she likes to eat, but sometimes she has her days where she's a picky eater like any typical toddler does. So it gives me a lot of peace of mind that I know she's still getting the important nutrients and energy that she needs from my milk. So I don't have to worry about fighting with her to eat more or fighting with her to drink cow's milk or ensure. Now, sometimes I've wondered, hey, if she wasn't nursing so much, would she maybe eat more? Well, there is actually a study that addressed that, because some parents are pressured to wean their toddlers if they are not eating a significant amount of solid foods. One study done in Kenya showed that when toddlers were weaned, their solid food intake did increase, but not enough to replace the lost nutrients that they were getting from the milk that they stopped drinking. So Would she eat more in volume of food? Maybe. Would she still get all of the nutrients that she needed without the breast milk? Maybe not. Now, of course, there is so much more to breastfeeding than the nutritional aspect of it, and those benefits also translate to toddlers as well as babies. Now, one major benefit is the immune system support. Now, I talked about this in my last video, that a baby's immune system does a whole lot of developing up until the age of 2. Well, it's not actually complete until more like the age of 5. So there's still quite a lot of benefit that could be gained from breastfeeding into the toddler years. One study found that toddlers between the ages of 1 and 3 experienced fewer illnesses of shorter duration, and lower mortality rates. That's really huge, guys. Now, like I said in my previous video, and what you most likely already know about breast milk, is that antibodies are really prevalent in human breast milk to protect babies that are very young, but those same antibodies also protect older babies and toddlers as well. In fact, some of the immune factors that are present in human breast milk increase in concentration during the 2nd year and also during the weaning process. In fact, the World Health Organization has even said that a modest increase in breastfeeding rates could prevent up to 10% of child death under the age of 5, and that breastfeeding plays an essential and oftentimes underrated role in the prevention and treatment of certain illnesses. Now, another big benefit of breastfeeding is how it impacts your child's development with their brain and how that can set them up for more success in the future in school and education. Extensive research has been done on the relationship between breastfeeding and cognitive achievement, and breastfeeding has shown the greatest gains in children that were breastfed for the longest. Breastfeeding also helps children with their mental and social development. A couple studies have shown a positive relationship between longer breastfeeding durations and social development. In fact, according to Elizabeth N. Baldwin, breastfeeding is a warm and loving way to meet the needs of toddlers and young children. It not only perks them up and energizes them, it also soothes the frustrations, bumps and bruises, and daily stresses of early childhood. In addition, nursing past infancy helps little ones make a gradual transition in childhood. She continues to say, meeting a child's dependency needs is the key to helping that child achieve independence, and children outgrow these needs according to their own unique timetable. Children who achieve independence at their own pace are more secure in that independence than children forced into independence prematurely. Now, like I said in my previous video, the American Academy of Pediatrics recommends breastfeeding for at least the 1st year and beyond as long as it's mutually desired. They go on to say, increased duration of breastfeeding confers significant health and developmental benefits for the child and the mother. There is no upper limit to the duration of breastfeeding and no evidence of psychological or developmental harm from breastfeeding into the 3rd year of life or longer. The American Academy of Family Physicians also recommends that breastfeeding continue throughout the 1st year of life, and, as recommended by the World Health Organization, breastfeeding should ideally continue beyond infancy, but this is not the cultural norm in the United States and requires ongoing support and encouragement. It has been estimated that a natural weaning age for humans is between 2 and 7 years. Family physicians should be knowledgeable regarding the ongoing benefits to the child of extended breastfeeding, including continued immune protection, better social adjustment, and having a sustainable food source in times of emergency. The longer women breastfeed, the greater the decrease in their risk of breast cancer. The Academy of Breastfeeding Medicine affirms that breastfeeding beyond infancy as the biological norm. Claims that breastfeeding beyond infancy is harmful to mother or infant have absolutely no medical or scientific basis, says Arthur Eidelman, MD. The Global Organization of Physicians further notes that human milk contains nutrients, antibodies, and immune-modulating substances that are not present in infant formula or cow's milk. Now, of course, we've been talking so much about how breastfeeding benefits toddlers, but it also benefits mom. Longer breastfeeding duration is further associated with reduced maternal risks of breast cancer, ovarian cancer, diabetes, hypertension, obesity, and heart attack. Extended nursing can delay the return of fertility. It didn't in my case either time. My cycle continued after 3.5 months postpartum, but for some women it can delay for a year or more even. Not only does that help with child spacing, but it also helps reduce the risk of ovarian cancer. Some breastfeeding moms also lose weight easier. I kind of experienced that myself. Okay guys, so that brings us to the question of the day. Is it time to wean Kerrigan? I'm thinking not quite yet. I think I might try night weaning her first soon here, because she is still waking up at least once per night most nights. And at this stage of the game, Kaladin was no longer waking up at night to nurse at all. So I think that's where I'll start, is by night weaning her first. and then probably trying to encourage her a little bit to taper off just a little bit, because I'm not quite there yet, I think, to completely wean her. It's still a very valuable tool in my tool belt as a mom. She's very clumsy, she falls down and gets hurt all the time. It's a really great way to calm her and comfort her and help her to feel better whenever she just gets really whiny, because she's currently cutting her 2-year molars. So I'm kind of hesitant to let that little tool go just yet, and obviously she's very, very attached to it, and I just don't want to take it away from her yet. She's still very much a baby. She still very much needs that comfort and that closeness, and for the time being, I'm happy to give it to her. And you know, she's been through a lot in the past few months with going across the country to visit our family, and then being away from her dad for a couple months, and then going back across the country and missing our family back home. And in a little less than 2 months, we're going to be moving yet again. And so I feel like there's just so much turmoil and so much changing that it's nice for her to have that constant, that's something that comforts her and makes her feel safe. And so I definitely don't want to completely wean her until after we get nice and settled in our new town, and I'll reevaluate again once we get to that point. But for the time being, I'm still seeing that the benefits outweigh the drawbacks in my particular nursing relationship with my daughter. Okay, so now that we've talked about all the benefits of breastfeeding a toddler, which are the reasons why I decided it was right for me, now let's talk about the other reason why I brought you here, which is about the Mamaway maternity and nursing bra. Now, I received this bra from Mamaway for free in exchange for my honest and unbiased review, so here it is. They only sent me the product, they did not pay me, so this is not a sponsored video. And as always, all the opinions are my own and 100% truthful and honest. I am currently wearing it, and I think it's pretty dang comfortable. In fact, it's one of the most comfortable nursing bras I've ever worn. That said, here's a couple of things I liked and disliked about it. Now, aside from being comfortable, the things I like about it is it does include these removable inserts in the cups, which is nice because I don't have to worry about it getting too cold and kind of showing a little bit more than I want to show, if you know what I mean. And because of the little opening in the side of the cup, you can easily adjust them to where you need them to be. And that is one of the things I didn't like about it. As the day goes on and as I am unhooking it to nurse my child, the cups kind of get messed up. They kind of bunch up and kind of go out of place, and that is a little bit annoying. Now, I'm glad that there is that little opening so it's easy to fix it back where it needs to be, but I wish they would stay put better to begin with. The other thing is the sizing is a little bit confusing. I was looking at their sizing charts and reading some of the reviews and things people said to try to decide what size is best for me, because I know my bra size, which I know my correct bra size. Chances are you're not wearing the right size. It said medium/large, and then some people said it runs kind of big, so it's better to have it a little bit on the smaller side so that's not too big. So I decided to go with a medium, and really I should have gone with a large. The gore in the middle is not touching, so it kind of feels like it's a little bit too small, and the cups, they're not really fully, they're not big enough for all, you know, it's a little bit too small. I like the color. I really gravitate towards the nude. I could go on a whole other tangent about that and how it's not really fair to women of color, but I tend to gravitate towards the, you know, the tan and beige variety of bras, just because I don't like bras that show through my clothes. I like the way the band is. It's just a very comfortable band, and it just fits very snugly and stays in place really well, which is good. So the band size fits me great. The cup size is too small. I'm afraid if I would have gotten a large though, I think that the band might have been too big. So I guess I'm just in this weird in-between place in my sizing, so that kind of sucks. It's real easy to unhook and rehook, because I have some nursing bras that it's really difficult to get unhooked or even if it's easy to get it unhooked, it's a lot harder to get it hooked back, and some of them I can't even do it with one hand at all. So I really like the way that they have these. I like that it's up higher, so it gives you some of that lift and support, because some nursing bras don't have that, which is really annoying. So all in all, I really like this bra actually. It's one of the best nursing bras that I've used. I would definitely recommend it to others. I just wish that there was a little bit more guidance in being able to figure out what is the best size for you, because that's definitely very imperative when choosing bras, that it fits you correctly so that it gives you the support that you need. So there you have it, guys. That's my 2-year breastfeeding update. If you liked it or you learned something new, please give me a thumbs up. And if you aren't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. It's free and it'll make sure you don't miss any of my future videos. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye!